Hey everybody, it's Matt Warrior here doing another music review, and this time I'm going to be doing the upcoming album by Scandic Tribe from Norway. And the album is called Light at the End, and it is slated to be released in March of this year. So, how would I describe this band? Well, I'd say that there's two different styles on the album that kind of stood out. So I guess the first song is Dusty Sunrise, which kind of reminded me a little bit of sort of AOR-ish, sort of lighter metal. I would say, I was almost like reminded of like Judas Priest's Point of Entry album in a certain way, or Dokken or something like that. The second song, Only Time Will Tell, is kind of funky, with some kind of vocal harmonies that reminded me of King's X. And then the third song, well, if you don't count the intro, Heaven, actually reminded me of the aforementioned Dokken. And that was pretty cool. And then Revolution of Confusion follows, which kind of reminded me of like a modern version of Coverdale era Deep Purple did a song. It's kind of slower and bluesy. And then the song Life is Good is the one that comes up next. Now that one was quite unexpected. I wasn't really anticipating that song. And I guess the best way to put it is that it's kind of a mellow bluesy kind of song. It kind of has a little bit of a 90s kind of the term jangle pop, or kind of rock, alternative rock kind of vibe to it. I don't know if that was the intention, but it definitely has that sound a little bit. And that kind of continues on the songs afterward. So I would say the next song after that definitely has a better vocal delivery with regards to that. And then we come up to Angel, which is a instrumental that kind of has like a Hendrix kind of vibe. And I think most of the songs have a little bit of that to some extent, like with some of the guitars. But this one's cool because it has that, and it's instrumental. It has some cool like guitar harmonies and volume swells. It kind of reminded me of 70s prog rock. And then My Sweet Baby Valentine continues in that vein of the previous songs, which has a kind of a lighter alternative rock meets kind of 70s Hendrix kind of vibe. Not 70s Hendrix, but 70s sort of vibe intermixed with Hendrix. So I don't think the vocal style on My Sweet Baby Valentine works with the song. I'm going to get to that in a minute. There are some cool guitar parts, and there's some cool like string kind of style parts as well. Now, and also the neoclassical sort of guitar stuff in there works as well. And then Heroes is the next song, and it kind of has that mellow vibe in the beginning that the previous songs had, some of the previous songs had, but then it kind of full on rocks, and I like the dynamics on that one. I also thought that the vocals fit a lot better that time than some of the previous few songs. It kind of reminded me a little bit of, sounds like a weird comparison, but the band 10, which is a AOR kind of hard rock band that I like. Actually, they're pretty cool. So that one was probably one of the best songs on the album, is Heroes. So, and it has kind of a triumphant lyrical vibe and energy to it as well. And then we go on, to a Sad Time, which is kind of a downer to end the album. It's kind of more in the mellow side of things again. It doesn't really stand out like Heroes did, but it does have a cool sax part. So overall, I would say this album, I think the main issue that I have with it, it has some really cool parts and really cool melodies and stuff. It's kind of schizophrenic because on one end you have these sort of 80s or AOR hard rock kind of sounding songs, which that's kind of more up my alley. And then you have these other more mellow songs, which kind of some of them are pretty good, but I think the issue is that the vocal style done on the AOR, or I'm just going to say hard rock songs. It's not really AOR necessarily. The harder rock songs, they the vocal style kind of goes, it's kind of the same with some of the mellow songs, as well as the harder rock songs, and I think that's one of my main issues with it. I would say a little more subtlety with the vocals, as far as those more mellow songs would do the album more justice. But I think also other than that, it's I think it could use a few more solo like guitar solos, like a little bit. I'm not gonna say shred, but it's very vocal dominated, the album. So it could have a little bit more. I don't know, a few more guitar parts, a few more, especially during the harder rock songs. Because I noticed, like, even on the mellow songs had a lot of cool guitar parts, but like some of the harder songs were missing some more flash to it. So I would say that's probably one of my other criticisms. But I think the main thing is that it seems like there's these two different styles, and like a song like Heroes really worked because it mixed those two styles really well. But when you go to these other, some of these other songs, I think just a little bit more balance between the two would have done the album more justice. So overall, I do like it. I think the vocals kind of need to maybe take a step back during the mellower parts and songs, and those are my two main criticisms. Is the kind of split identity of the actual songs wherein, and I understand this is actually a concept album. I believe that's what it's supposed to be to some extent. So I understand that there's some thematic things that you want to put into it, but that would be the only thing I would say is that kind of more balance between everything. But that's about it. So I would say it's a band to check out. Check out their new album when it comes out in March, and that's pretty much what I have to say about it.